Coming up on Metrofile this week, as the COVID-19 induced lockdown continues to bite hard, the fashion industry in focus as we speak to fashion designer Larry Da Silva Ajayi and fabric designer Labake Adiola of Signa Fabrics on the effect on their business. Okay, we bring you warm and safe greetings from all of us here at Channels Television.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we hope you're keeping safe. Every day the reality continues to hit us as the devastating effect of this shows on businesses and social lives.
Yes, it's really changing a lot of things, but we are going to make sure your experience at home is worth it. All right, on the show today, you already know our features, but while you enjoy it, don't forget, watch out for flash photography. Welcome to our world. Welcome to Metrofile. I'm Anne Nwawadu.
And I'm Oge Chukwuose. Welcome to the program. Now, we turn our focus to the fashion industry and the effect of COVID-19 induced lockdown on their business. Nigeria is a country rich in diverse cultures and traditions, portrayed in our language, food, music, dance, fashion and style. And with our dressing, we become expressive and flamboyant as we deem fit to project the beauty and the richness of our cultural heritage. Showcased ever so proudly in different ways, the rise of uniform or coordinated dressing, popularly called Ashwebi, steams as an indicator of the cooperation and solidarity during ceremonies and festive periods. Today, it is perhaps one of the salient highlights of ceremonies as it now defines how stylish the event is. With the popularity of Ashwebi came the huge market and patronage of fabrics. Tailors and dealers now smile to the bank. But the current realities about the COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent lockdown means no more physical events, which in turn hurts the requirement for Ashwebi and drops the demand for the fabrics. Fabric stores and shops are now closed. Mrs. Labake Adiola, one of the major fabric dealers in the popular Balogun market in Lagos, southwest Nigeria, only came around to inspect her shop after pockets of burglary have been recorded in the vicinity. She has to deal with that and the challenges brought about by the pandemic on her business.
Honestly, the COVID-19 has a very devastating effect on our business at this time.
The industry has become a huge employer of labor, and the temporary setback is costing them a lot.
The people that deposited money for Ashwebi, they started asking for their deposit back because they're changing dates. Not even changing dates alone, they are cancelling events because they don't even know when that event will happen. This lockdown, they don't know when it will go. So, and for us, the sellers, I must be sincere with you, we've been talking to each other. Nobody is thinking about events now. Nobody is even thinking about parties. What we are thinking, this pandemic, when will it go? It should go.
As we took a walk around her shop, one thing is clear that she had stocked up, ready for the 2020 business year. She gives us an insight into the important role the business plays in the economy and the beauty it brings to events.
And if you look at this market, from here down to Ireko, to Idumota, Martins down to Balogun, to Folawiyo, these are all fabric stores that we have here. And when you come in and you said, I want for 100 people, you go to another customer will go to another shop and say, we are doing a lot. We are supporting this economy with a lot. Honestly, but what I think is affecting us most now, that we are also affect the industry. Number one, before the COVID-19 started, you know there has been ban on fabric, importation generally. And we have our neighboring countries that always come to us to buy. We have our business is not about Ashwebi alone.
Now, if I am, let's say, a bride or somebody who just wants to make a style, any style, and I come to you without any idea, all I want is a beautiful material and good color combination. How would you satisfy my needs?
The first question is, what color are you working with? If you now say, oh, I don't have a color. If you tell me you have a color, you make my job easier. If you now say, oh, no, I don't have a color. Oh, can you choose a color for me? That's when we start thinking of, oh, what color can I make? How do I do that? Let me see. Let me just, I think I have something that is interesting.
Now maybe just go around
Yes.
there. Let's see these ones
I
there.
can just show you. We have some brides that they want to blink. They want to look good. You can see that. They will say, some of them, you know, we always have different events for the bride. So you can say, okay, I want to, for my engagement,
Okay.
what can I wear? We try to show you some nice things for engagement. We say, okay, you can, when you put this together, we put ashoke on this.
To know if it's going to match?
Yes, to know if it's going to match. Then we take, we even match it. If you have your color, it makes it easier. If you want us to suggest color for you, we now say, okay, you have color of the day, but you don't know what you will wear. So you now tell us your colors of the day. So we now see what will match colors of the day. We always advise them, you have to stand out as a bride. Parents of the bride, you have to stand out. So you don't work with the colors that every other person will wear. So just come out on your own and stand out. So we always advise them, because some of them don't even know. When they choose their colors, which is what the ashebi that everybody will wear, they too will say, it's that color that I want to wear.
And before you know, the bride is almost fading into the crowd.
The crowd. So that's why we always advise them. So then they will now also ask for after wedding dress. So we try as much as possible to give them something that blinks, so that they look different from their friends. You know, the after party, how those guys and her. You know, even the guys now, in those days, it's always suit and trouser and a shirt. You know,
they are all trying
do
to
a lot of articles now that they just create what they like with it. They started, that's what I was just telling you, that we tried as much as possible to modify the fabric for them.
What do you think is the highest misconception about Asoebi in Nigeria?
I think a lot of people have misconception about the prices of Asoebi, and I'm not blaming them. Let me be sincere with you. Sometimes we sell Asoebi with a 500 naira margin on 5 years. We sell on 1,000 margin on 5 years. But the people that patronize us, they will give it out. They will write their letter. They have a price in mind that they want to give it out. So they will write a letter out. Maybe we have given out Asoebi for 10,000. They want to give it out for 15,000. When you now ask them, why do you want to make so much on Asoebi? They will tell you it's because I will give out souvenir, they will eat. It wasn't like that in those days. In fact, some even give Asoebi out for free in those days, because you know that whoever is celebrating, you are going to give that person something. You will go to that event. If you don't spray that person with money, you will package an envelope, you will give a check. So it actually covers whatever Asoebi you are giving. But now, some people actually see it as a business. They want the Asoebi, the profit from Asoebi, to cater for their food, to cater for their drink, to cater for the musician, you know? Is that, how can you put all that on Asoebi? You should know that you want to do that. You want to celebrate. You should have your money ready. That's one thing I don't agree with. In fact, it's a pandemic as well on its own. I'm telling you, we try as much as possible to enlighten them.
With the continued increase in the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the country, the future of their sector may not be clear at the moment, but she remains positive.
If we want to go beyond that, beyond the pandemic, I think the future is still okay, because Asoebi, like I said, fabric, you can't go naked. So we always sell. Asoebi events will always happen. People will still get married. People will do burials. You will take Ankara. 1,000 people, 2,000 people. But I don't know when 1,000 and 2,000 people events will start again.
The fashion value chain now leads us to the doorstep of designers who give life to these fabrics. Lauren Da Silva Ajayi and her luxury brand stands at the top of our industry. Here, the lockdown also bites.
As a fashion designer, when we have our events, we usually would have them as mass gatherings. You know, we love to celebrate. Okay, Nigerians, we have everyone around, you know, anniversaries, parties, landmarks. Now, when you know that this is a disease that doesn't discriminate against age, race, national origin, or religion, then you begin to think that, do you want to have a big party? I don't think so. So already it's affected our business for fashion. And now fashion is seen as non-essential.
But that notwithstanding, she's already thinking ahead.
Already, I'm so excited about what I see on social media platforms because, for instance, if you want to have a fashion show now, it would be good to have a virtual fashion show or even having virtual fashion lookbooks. When I say virtual fashion show, okay, I'm talking about a fashion show that would actually, like, maybe you're having a live streaming show. Then you can actually connect globally. When I talk about fashion lookbooks, you have them in 3D effects. 3D effects, it helps you to create excitement, connecting your brand. So that keeps the excitement alive. I want to make sure that my clients are excited about what I'm doing. We also have to be excited about what we're doing. We should not have like a damping spirit.
Yeah, but I'm going to cut you there because I know that for now, you know, the online activities happening now, they are the in thing. But how sustainable is that, one? And two, you think that can actually take the place of, you know, we all go to parties, we interact, we dance, we chit-chat, we mingle. Do you think we can sustain that online activity?
So as much as we love to celebrate with each other, you know, we Africans, we love the whole, you know, come together, everybody's family, partying and all that, that all has to be reduced considerably. I think at the same time, we have to create excitement around the new ideas and the challenging. It's a different approach. Yeah. It's literally taking a different approach and we'll create excitement around it. For me as a fashion designer, I'm going to make sure that in a way I engage my clients, because even if you think about it, some people will actually prefer it.
The fashion industry in Nigeria in recent times has turned out to be a big money spinner. Just like the music industry, the fashion industry had been on a steady rise, enjoying unprecedented level of exposure that translates into opportunities for designers within the international space. Now that momentum has now been cut short.
What I would say is that a lot of businesses would have to really readjust and re-strategize. Definitely there has to be a different approach. And as I mentioned earlier on, technology will play a vital role. So I think if we can get a lot of exciting and good feeling and connect with our clients as much as we can, it will be viable enough for all of us to keep our businesses afloat. Yeah. And we obviously need government to sort of, you know, inject stimulus into most of the small business entrepreneurs. We hear of all the billions, so many top businessmen have actually contributed. All of that are positive ways for us to believe that there's togetherness in this. You are not alone. It's very important.
She has a lot to learn from this whole experience.
In well-being, just general well-being, hygiene, all of those things are things that, you know, just shaking hands. I mean, do you know how much of hugging that I do personally, the kind of work I do, the fact that I'm already thinking this is a business. I know how I started my business. I started with taking fabrics, you know, taking measurements and all that. All that is going to change. So well-being, health has become what is most important to most of us because we're all at home now. Okay, we've been locked down for about 3 weeks now and we've been able to survive without all these parties we go to, we're cooking, I remember as a person, I mean, I can't even tell you the amount of cooking I've done. in this whole wake of this pandemic, this is also a time by which we could find a way to give. As much as we would think of reducing salaries, pay cuts and all of that, these are people that this was not what they had in mind. There are people that the way they make their money is daily wages. So as much as possible, I know some churches are helping out, some individuals, corporates, like I mentioned earlier on, very top businessmen in Nigeria, people that have the capacity and the means are giving. And I think that's very positive for all of us to stay together, staying alive and believing in the future. I think all of that will really help.
Fashion and style are definitely a part of our very existence. The industry that drives it will certainly need time to recover when all these are over. Until then, the wait continues for an end to this pandemic.